We was camped on the plains at the head of Cimarron when along comes a stranger and he stops to argue some. Well, he looked so very foolish we begun to look around, and we thinks he is a greenhorn and just escaped from town. We asked him if he'd had a bite. He hadn't had a smear, so we opened up the chuck box and forked him out a share. He took a cup of coffee, some biscuits, and some beans. Then he started in to talk about them foreign kings and queens and all about the Spanish War and fighting on the seas with pistols big as beef steers and rifles big as trees, and all about old John Paul Jones, that fighting son of a gun, since he was the rankest cuss that ever drawed a gun. Such an educated feller, his thoughts just come in herds. Every living sentence had 10 jaw-breaking words. He just keeps on a-talking till he makes us all dang sick. We begun to figure out some way to play a trick. Now he said that he had lost his job upon the Santa Fe, and he was going across the plains to strike the old SP. He never said how come it, some trouble with the boss, but he asked if he might borry a nice fresh saddle horse. Now this tickled all the boys to death. We laughed right up our sleeves. We'll give you a horse just as fresh as you please. Old Shorty grabbed his lariat and he roped the zebra dun. And the boys, they all settled back waiting for the fun, 'cause old Dunn, he was an outlaw, growed so awful wild. He could paw the moon down, boys, he could jump a mile. Old Dunn stood right quiet as if he did not know, till we had him saddled up and ready for the show. When the stranger hit the saddle, old Dunn, he quit the earth. He traveled right straight up for all that he was worth, pitching and a squealing and a having wall-eyed fits, his hind feet perpendicular, his front feet in the bits. You could see the snowy mountains under Dunny every jump, but the stranger, he seemed growed there just like a camel's hump. He leaned back in the saddle and he twirled his black mustache like a summer boarder waiting for his hash. He punched him in the shoulder and he spurred him when he whirled, to show us earthbound punchers he was top wolf of the world. When the stranger had dismounted once more unto the ground, we knew he was a salty dog and not some boy from town. Now the boss had been standing and a watching of the show. He walked up to the stranger and he said, "You need not go. If you can use the catch rope like you rode the zebra dun, then you're the boy I'm looking for since the year of one." Well, he sure could use the catch rope, and he did not use it slow. He could sure 4-foot 'em there 10 times in a row. And when the herd stampeded, he was always on the spot to set them critters millin' like the boilin' of a pot. Now there's one thing, and a sure thing I've learned since I've been born. Every educated feller ain't no dang plumb greenhorn.